Sixers and Rockets, meanwhile, going at it here at the Wells Fargo Center. Nerlens Noel back after missing the previous 2 games with a knee problem. Sonny Weems in uniform for the Sixers for the first time. Didn't play this one, but in his honor, along with the fantastic weather, let's do this highlight. It's always sunny style. Starting at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the setting. The gang goes for a win. Early on, Jeremy Grant provides Sixers fans with the most exciting thing since Thunder Gun Express. Skies for the alley-oop from Robert Covington, guiding it in with one hand. And later, a 6-point Rockets lead in the second. Houston comes up with the steal and says, turn a blind eye while I rob this place. The no-look alley-oop to former Sixer KJ McDaniels, 2 of 10 first-half points for KJ. And just before halftime, off the Jason Terry miss, McDaniels doing the Charlie work inside, cleaning up and flushing down the dunk. Houston up by 9 at the break. Right out of the half, after intermission, Nerlens Noel gets the kitten mittens on it, comes up with the steal, and skies like he's a student of bird law. Noel with 17 points in his return to the lineup. We jump to the fourth, a 5-point Rockets lead. Ish Smith says, it's not over until I say it's over. Puts James Harden in the blender. Step-back jumper is good, part of a 13-0 Sixers run. The fans loving it, so is the bench. 5-point game down the stretch, not one of the Rockets' stars. Instead, it's the wild card, Jason Terry. Spots up in the corner, hits the 3 and the foul. Sixers lose their 13th straight, 118-104. Here's Postgame Plus with Nerlens Noel on how he felt after the 2-game absence.
Well, the Eagles once employed a defensive end nicknamed the Minister of Defense. Thursday, another one of their DNs played the role of minister as Brandon Graham officiated the wedding of Terry Hughes and Fred Reichwein. The couple won the ultimate sports wedding in a contest sponsored by WIP. We were on hand to capture their special day.
Time to go to work. That's the good bling right there. Man, you the big man. You the one that got him right before he got to this point. I'm excited because I got a nice script. I done went over it plenty of times, and I think the nerves are kind of, going now that everything is happening.
I'm a big 4-for-4 guy. I've been playing baseball since I was 5 years old. I bleed Phillies red and Eagles green.
Well, we're gonna make it about her today, and we're gonna have some fun. Since I'm married 3 years now, it kind of brought me back. I was kind of mesmerized a little bit, like, man, thinking about when my wife first came out, I cried and stuff. So, it was definitely a good experience, man. Tara and Fred, please face one another and join hands, which you are right now. Once I heard myself talking, it started to calm down a little bit. To commemorate this union, you may now exchange rings.
I'm glad you got this. Freddie's name is hard to say if you don't practice it. You get it right the first time. It was great.
I am Fred Reichwein.
I am Fred Reichwein.
Oh, I get Fred Reichwein. I'm sorry. Yep.
He was awesome.
I pronounce you as husband and wife, lawfully wedded before God. Fred, you may now kiss the bride. It's my pleasure to present you Mr. and Mrs. Frederick Reichwein III.
We could say that they're the starting defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles, marry them, and sign their, marriage certificate on top of.
Attend the wedding even.
Yes.
But marry you, that's just extra, and it's phenomenal.
That was cool right there, man. Woo!
The Phillies trying to catch the Marlins for that final wild card spot. They started the night 8 games off the pace as we take you out. Star Wars night at the Ball Yard. Chewbacca, guarding the guys in the booth. A popcorn vendor even getting in on the Star Wars action, using the force, maybe the force of gravity, to balance a tub of popcorn on her head, walking down the steps. Jared Eichhoff starting for the Phillies with the Marlins, playing the role of the dark side in this one. Eichhoff working in the second, leaves Jeff Mathis frozen in carbonite. As he goes down looking, Eichhoff 3 shutout innings to start. In the fourth, Christian Yelich gets the Marlins on the board, flying Han Solo into the left field seats. And the Marlins taken early. How about this? Obi-1 to 0 lead. Later on in the inning, it's Chris Johnson swinging his saber. Rips one into the corner. That would play to run. Marlins score 4 in the frame to give themselves a 4-0 lead. In the Phillies half, they get a few right back thanks to Ryan Howard. tries to take that pitch to a galaxy far, far away. Not quite, but far enough. Two-run shot makes it a 4-2 ball game. It's 5-2 when the Marlins answer right back in the top of the fifth. Derek Dietrich with a grounder to Freddie Galvis at short. He throws the ball away. That allows a run to score, and the Marlins stretch their lead to 6-2. On the other side, Tom Kohler brought the Death Star to Phillies bats. Maikel Franco swings to end the sixth. That two-run shot to Howard, the only hit Kohler had allowed at that point. Bottom of the seventh, after giving up a home run to Howard, he gets some swinging this time around. And for Kohler, how about 8 solid innings, allowed just the 1 earned run. Top of 8, 7-2, Miami. Ichiro edges closer to history. That base hit, now 2 hits on the night. He's 4 shy of 3,000 for his career, and the Marlins win by a 9-3 final.
For the second consecutive year, the Eagles hosted their Women's Football Festival at Lincoln Financial Field. The event featured appearances by several players on the roster and offered female fans a chance to rub elbows with some of their favorites. We mic'd up tight end Zach Ertz to experience the event through his eyes.
Hi, baby. It's Zach Ertz here at Women's Day, having a blast. It was incredible. I mean, it's been so long, obviously, since the season, and the fans have so much energy. What's up, brother? How you doing? Oh, yeah, you need to be here instead. Of course. 2 hugs. There you go. There she is. I love your jersey. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Put it on Snapchat. The women were extremely passionate. They might have been a little more crazy than if it was a men's day. There you go.
Come to the corner of the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
Row 12. Don't
All right,
forget it.
definitely. Well, 131, row 12. Gotcha.
Good luck this season.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, definitely. There you go. Smart woman.
You are my absolute favorite.
There we go. I do have some interesting stories that I don't feel comfortable sharing on here, but it was a good time.
Thank you.
Yep.
You're like one of my favorite players.
One of them.
Congratulations on
Thank you
getting
so
married.
much.
You guys are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy for
We're
you.
loving it. Yep. Oh, yeah. It was wonderful. All right, I'm going to go just keep doing the obstacle courses.
Yeah.
High five? There you go. I'll give high fives all day. High five? Let's see your dance. You got a touchdown dance? High five. Boom. You want to demonstrate? You know what we're doing? All right, let's see it. Boom. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's off. He's off. Oh, stay up. Pick those knees up. Pick those knees up. Oh, she's killing me. Oh! Brick! No, you did it! You gotta throw it to the other tight end, though. They're throwing to the wrong tight end over there. Ow! I don't think I saw one person throw it through the Zach Ertz hole. I couldn't even do it, so we might have to widen that hole in that catch radius in the future. Here it is. Let's see it. You gotta throw it through there. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, just enjoying my time out here with them. I thought we already signed this, no?
While the Sixers were under the direction of Sam Hinkie's process, the losses just piled up. Hinkie's teams won 47 games in his almost 3 full seasons. This season, 7 NBA teams have that many wins. Now that Hinkie has stepped down, management has to rebuild the rebuild. Here's John Gonzalez with a look back on Hinkie's tenure.
I'm very excited to announce that we've hired Sam Hinkie as the Sixers' new president of basketball operations and general manager.
Following a 34-48 campaign that saw much of the season shrouded by questions about when, if ever, Andrew Bynum would play for the Sixers, majority owner Josh Harris decided change was necessary in the front office. The candidate he settled on was Houston Rockets Executive Vice President Sam Hinkie, who knew exactly how tough the situation would be.
The challenge in front of us is not for the faint of heart.
Hinkie's first act, the 2013 NBA Draft, which set the franchise on a distinctly different course.
First-year general manager for the Sixers, Sam Hinkie, didn't waste any time putting his stamp on the organization, landing 3 new players plus 3 picks during his first NBA draft. Certainly, though, came at a price. Sixers traded away all-star Drew Holiday.
The prize for Holiday was injured Kentucky big man Nerlens Noel, as well as a 2014 first-round pick. With their own first-rounder, the team drafted Drew Holiday's replacement at point guard, Michael Carter-Williams. The drafting of Noel set a precedent for the Sixers taking players who weren't available to immediately contribute.
I think it's appropriate for where we are to try to plant seeds that you might be able to harvest in time.
While the roster was undergoing an overhaul, the search for the man who would coach them was prolonged, ultimately culminating in the hiring of longtime San Antonio assistant Brett Brown that August. Brown's first season marked a step back for the franchise. Holiday was gone and a younger core was in place as the team went into the trade deadline at 15-41 on a 9-game losing streak. On deadline day, the team shipped out Evan Turner and Spencer Hawes, another clear indication of the team's track. The team went on to lose 17 straight to stretch their losing streak to 26 games and finish the year with just 19 wins. Despite the losing, Harris's confidence in Hinkie didn't waver.
I sleep way better at night when I know that I have a great management team in place. Sam has shown so far that he knows what he's doing.
With another draft came yet another top pick spent on an injured big man.
With the 3rd pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Joel Embiid.
Hinkie once again made it clear not to expect any first-year contribution from the team's top pick.
Guess what our approach will be? We will focus on the long-term health of the player. We've had this discussion before.
The team doubled down on the strategy, acquiring Dario Saric through a draft night trade. He has yet to play a game for the Sixers.
And the Sixers trailing at halftime by 43 points.
The ensuing season saw more struggles for the Sixers, with the team dropping their first 17 games of the year. In February, Hinkie again radically changed the outlook of the Sixers' young core, shipping reigning Rookie of the Year Michael Carter-Williams to Milwaukee for a future first-round pick from the Lakers, which has yet to convey.
It is almost impossibly hard to get your hands on a pick that at least has the chance to be a high lottery pick.
The Sixers were again at the bottom of the standings, finishing with the 3rd worst record in the league at 18-64.
The 3rd pick in this year's draft goes to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Once again, the ping-pong balls did not bounce the Sixers' way, and the team selected yet another big man at number 3, taking Jahlil Okafor. The potential glut of big men was reduced later in the summer with some unfortunate injury news regarding Joel Embiid.
It was largely the pre-Summer League one, and we had that, and it looked different.
With Embiid out for yet another season, Okafor initially picked up the slack, impressing early on. However, the team started 0-18, losing 28 in a row dating back to last season, an NBA record. Perhaps influenced by the team's play, along with external pressure from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, Josh Harris opted to make an addition to the front office, bringing in Jerry Colangelo as chairman of basketball operations in December. The longtime NBA executive seemed open to continuing with Hinkie in place, though he noted that alterations to the course of the team needed to be made.
He's as bright a young man as I have ever come across in the world of sports. I think he is open to understanding that there has to be some change to the so-called plan, or at least stepping up the process.
This past February was the quietest trade deadline of Hinkie's tenure. The day after the deadline, Hinkie showed a continuing commitment to his values, with little sign of a departure in his future.
One of the things we talk about a lot is the old saying of, like, you don't get to the moon by climbing a tree, and being able to report progress branch by branch. Like, that's not real.
Now the climb continues without Hinkie.